Okay, so in this video I'm going to be talking about a book which I've been enjoying reading recently and that I think might be useful inspiration during your planning of your RPG sessions, etc. Now, spurred on by The Midlands, the excellent book from Glyn Seal, which has a sort of faux medieval tongue-in-cheek look at the United Kingdom, England, Scotland, Wales, etc. through a sort of old school D&D fantasy lens, and given that I enjoy Lamentations of the Flame Princess so much, which posits a slightly later view of history, a more sort of, I suppose, Renaissance view than is typical of OSR and D&D style games, I've been thinking about what other periods of history might be good ones to run D&D style games in. And one of the ones I decided that I'd be interested in having a look at was the Georgian period, which is the precursor to the much more well-known, in gaming circles at least in my experience, Victorian period. So I've picked up this book, A Visitor's Guide to Georgian England, and obviously going into the depths of Georgian society is a little bit beyond the scope of this video, but this book is an extremely interesting book. It's portrayed as though the reader is like a time traveller planning to head back in time to the Georgian period, and this book is designed to equip you with everything you need to know to pass undetected in Georgian society. Now that's a concept that quite appeals to me, and the author, Monica Hall, has a fairly sort of no-nonsense, light and breezy style throughout the book. It's not all getting bogged down in minutiae. It's presented, like I say, almost like a travel guide. It presents you with the stuff you'd need to know to fit in without getting too dragged down all the minutiae and the nitty-gritty of society. But it also points out some interesting little historical facts and a few other bits and pieces that are quite interesting. Basically, if you're interested in running a Georgian style game, or if you're interested in that period of history in general, I'd really recommend you give this book a read. The style is very easy to read, it's quite easy to get into, it's not intimidating in the way that some historical texts can be. Now obviously this isn't a full review, it's simply to give you a taster of it. So if I flick randomly through the book, let's find a section. Here we go. So this is chapter 2, Clothes and Beauty, and the book says, the first requirement for the time traveller is to blend into the background, and that will mean looking the part. So a visit to Angels, the legendary London theatrical costumers, might be necessary before your departure. With their help you could hope to pass muster as either an aristocrat or a pauper, although you would undoubtedly smell far too clean. At least for a while, at any rate. Apart from perhaps thongs and killer heels, those of us in the 21st century are accustomed to thinking that our clothes should be reasonably comfortable. This will not be the case in fashionable Georgian circles, when clothes and beauty, for both sexes, involve both discomfort and inconvenience. This did not go unnoticed at the time, with jeering cartoonists lampooning the ultra-fashionable young macaronis. More about them later. So, just from those first two paragraphs in this section, Clothes and Beauty, you already get a lot there. The fact that the synthetic fabrics, the comfort of today wasn't really available there, but that people, as they are now, were willing to sacrifice their comforts and go through pain and discomfort in order to make themselves appear more beautiful and present their best face to the world. However, unlike some time periods, the Georgian period isn't a million miles away from our own. There's still elements of commonality that we can find, and I think that makes it a lot easier for us to imagine how we'd sort of be involved in this sort of period, and I hope that's something that I can use if and when I do utilise this time period for my role-playing games in the future, because anything that removes barriers to the players getting involved in the game is a good thing as far as I'm concerned. So if you're interested in running a Georgian game, or you're just vaguely interested in this period of history, I suggest you pick up a copy of A Visitor's Guide to Georgian England by Monica Hall. I picked it up for around about £12.99 on Amazon, and that's $19.95 US as of the time of recording. So it's not an expensive book. It's fairly thin. It's a light paperback, only about 150 odd pages long. Like I say, it has a nice light and breezy style, very easy to read. It's a great book just to dip in and out of, and that's what I've been doing in between reading other books and planning my RPG sessions, etc. I've been steadily working my way through it a section at a time. As of the time of recording, I'm in chapter 10, Learning and the Enlightenment, talking about the scientific progress and the discoveries and the various faiths that were around at that time. And it's a chapter I'm very much looking forward to reading. So, there you have it. Until I see you next time, take care. Whatever you're playing or whatever you're reading, enjoy yourself.